So hello, everybody out there. This is Sunday. Guess what? It's Sunday, and it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. So I want to welcome you to Learning with Lynn, and I am Lynn.
And I'm Richard.
And he's Richard. And we have special guests here tonight with us. We have Rick and Tina Winrow.
Hello.
Hey.
Happy Mother's Day.
So if you're on watching us, make a comment so we know you're here. And I'm going to move some things around. I'm going to take Rick and Tina down for a minute. I'm going to move some things around so that we can share my screen. Let me move this over here. Okay, and do like that. There we go. So now you can see my screen. And today we're going to talk about pop-up events. And the reason why Rick and Tina are on this is because they're experts at this. So I want to talk about, you guys, pop-up events are so huge for growing your business, and especially coming into the summer season. This is the best time ever to do it. So let's go through this. I have mostly pictures and stuff to show you. There's different kinds of events. There's paid events where you can be in a show, you know, like a woman's What a Woman Wants, or women expos, or in the holidays, there's even like Santa things and Christmas tree things and gift giving. But there's paid events all year long. There's even things like the fair, you know, the state fair, the county fair, whatever. Those are all events you can get into and set up a tent or a table. We have tents and tables at busy intersections. That's where you pick an intersection that maybe there's not an active store there, like maybe the store went out of business or something, but there's a parking lot there and there's a very busy intersection. And you can put up a tent or just put up a table with big signs that say free Avon to get their attention. And people will come in and stop and pull in and talk to you. You can get tents or tables in front of a business. You can get special permission from a business to be able to set up. You know, this is how Richard and I first started our business. Way back, you know, in 2000, well, we started in 2001, but it was probably 2002 or something when we were starting to get serious about it. We actually got Kmart to give us permission to set up a table in front of their store. And he wouldn't let us sell any products or anything, but we just set up a table. We had a drawing, and we just did at the time like a basket drawing of Avon products. And we had brochures, lots of brochures we gave out, and we got names and numbers. And we were there every single Sunday from like, I don't know, noon till 3 or something, every Sunday without fail. Because at the time, that was the only time we had to work our business. We were working many, many hours in our jobs, and we just didn't have the time. And that's how we grew our business, and it worked great for us. Because over time, week after week after week, when you keep doing this, even if you only got 1 or 2 or 3 new customers or 1 or 2 or 3 names each week, it's going to compound. I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year, and I'm not kidding. If you do this and you're consistent with it, you won't recognize your business a year from now. So then another way you could do it is you can literally go to a coffee shop or a McDonald's or a pizza place and set up a sign. So we're going to go through some samples of some pictures of these kinds of things just so you can see what we do. So the first one is paid events. This is Pinners Conference. This one was very expensive. It was like $800 plus insurance and everything. It was probably over $1,000 by the time I was done. And But there's a lot of people that come to this Pinners Conference. It's like a 2-day event. And as you can probably see in this picture, we had the holiday products up because this was like in end of October, first part of November, I think it was. It was around the holidays. We had the holiday products up for show, but we really weren't selling any products there. It was mostly giving out brochures, collecting information. Right here, we have the drawing slips. These days, today, I do a drawing slip on a tablet. Makes it really easy. Just check and see if anybody's commenting. This one was a big bodacious fall festival we did. This one was in Utah County, you know, is a city south of us. But it's just another event. We, again, didn't sell any products. And I'm not saying you can't. Actually, it's totally up to you what you want to do. But what I have found is if I'm busy at these events, I'm trying to get recruits mostly. And new customers that people I can put on my mailing list and mail brochures to them and put them into my follow-up system. But mostly I prefer to not sell products because I could be ringing somebody up or working out how I'm going to collect their payment, and 30 people are going to walk by who might have been interested in selling Avon, and we didn't get their information. So sometimes it's just better to just talk to people. Now, there are events where we do sales, so it just really depends on what your goal is at the time you're doing the event. This is one we did on the 9th and 9th Street Festival. We did have some products for sale in the back. We also promoted fundraising up here. And then on the right-hand side was free drawing, get into our drawing. At the time, we were giving away a tablet. But these days, I found it actually works a lot better to just say, would you like to get on our mailing list? You know, because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't think you're not really going to give away a gift. I never win, or they think all kinds of things. Whereas this way, it's just straight up front. We mail our brochures, would you like to get on our mailing list, and have them fill out the drawing slip. And then you don't have to worry about a drawing.
Yeah, usually at events like this, the thing you're looking for the low-hanging fruit, like she was saying. What I mean by that is you don't want to have to spend all your time trying to sell and busy and 10 or 20 people walk by. You want to be able to greet, say hi, or talk to everybody that goes by, because you're looking at the people that are interested in Avon. You might have 10 people go by, and the next 5 are all say, wow, Avon, I haven't seen it in years. And that's who you want to capture. So you want to be focusing on just, you know, getting the word out that, hey, I'm the Avon lady in the area. Come see us.
Yep. Or Avon dude.
Yep.
This was the Marmalade Jam Fest. This one, you know, we froze to death. It was so cold, and we froze to death. And the truth is, we didn't get anything out of it. But, you know, you never know. When you set up an event, you really don't know what you're going to get out of it. And sometimes you can have, I'm going to talk about that. Sometimes you can have events where you think you don't get anything out of it, and you do. And so you just have to, it's all about doing it week after week and being consistent. So here's one, and this is another one. This is my example. So this is American Fork. It was a drugstore parking lot. There was a bunch of vendors there, like, you know, Avon, Mary Kay, Lip Sense, Tupperware, all these different vendors there. And it was like 110 degrees. We were dying. And we did have some products for sale in the back, but mostly, again, we're just trying to get information. And, you know, we had like a total of 3 people we talked to that whole day. And I thought, wow, this is a waste of time. You know, why are we sitting here? And the truth is, one lady came by. She actually pulled in. She saw my tent, and she pulled in because she saw my tent.
Yeah.
And pulled up to me and talked to Richard and me, and then left. She didn't go to any of the other tents. So she was interested in Avon. But she walked up to us and she said, you know, I only am interested in the deodorants. That's all I ever buy, and I only buy them when they're on sale. Do you have deodorants? And I said, oh, no, I don't have any here. I'm really sorry. But they are on sale right now. They're $1.49. They're usually $1.99. And if you use my Welcome 10 code, you can get 10% off online, because she was there in American Fork, which is out of our delivery area. It was a different town than what we live in. And she says, okay, I'll do that. And I didn't expect anything of it. The rest of the day, we sweltered and suffered and thought, man, this is a waste of time. Again, it's never a waste of time. But we got home, and there was a $350 online order from this lady. She bought a whole case of deodorants. So you just never know. I have another one, a situation where I used to do the Lemon Fest in Ventura, and I had a lady come up, and I was talking to her, and she was in charge. She was like the head of the California Youth Authority, which was the prison for teenagers in California. And we talked, and I didn't think anything was going to come out of that. I did follow up with her, and eventually I was able to sign the California Youth Authority up as an Avon rep, as an ongoing fundraiser, but we signed them up as a rep, and for like 3 years, they were doing like $3,000 a campaign. And so you just never know. You never know what you're going to get. This is just a table we did at it was a women's conference thing. It was just mostly business women. It was just a table, again, just giving out information. I did this with Lori, and she was probably taking the picture. But it's just a table. And then you can do a table and tent at miscellaneous locations. So here's Rick. And this is Rick and Tina. They do a busy parking lot at a busy intersection. And so what I have next is I have a video, and I hope this works. I'm crossing my fingers. This is a video that Rick did, and that's why they're on this call with us, because after I get through this PowerPoint, I'm going to pull them up, and they can answer any questions you have, or they will have more things to tell you, I'm sure. So let me try this, and hopefully it plays. And he's going to walk us through his tent, what he has at this corner, and how he works it.
Oh, Hello, Avon Rockstars. Okay, so we are set up here on 5600 West and 3500 South. So we're doing this every weekend. So I just wanted to kind of give you a few tips on what's working for us at doing this. So let me flip this camera around. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first thing is we always have our catalogs. So we mark them, we get our information on these, and then flip it over there. Okay, and then we have, and you can do this digital, but I found out that these slips work the best out here. But we have these slips where we try to get the names and numbers of the person. Hey, Richard, Kelly, Christine. So we want to get the names and numbers. So that's our main objective here, is to get these catalogs out and get names and numbers for customers. So we've picked up, so far today, we've picked up, 3 new customers? Yeah, 3 new customers. So now we're only spending about 3 to 4 hours on a Saturday or Sunday, or both Saturday and Sunday. We're only spending about 3 to 4 hours. We pick up customers every weekend. So if you're having trouble finding customers, this is a good way to do it. So, even though that's our main objective at doing this, we've always got a lot of products on hand. And you don't have to have a lot of products. I mean, you can start out really slow. I mean, with just a few products, and just build them up, and then we'll make a little bit of money on top of it. So, and then we have our samples right here. So every time somebody makes a purchase, we'll throw a sample in the bag with them, along with our catalog. And then we got all our fragrances here. So we got these kits, and then Gina's made up these little gift bags. So like Mother's Day is coming up, so she's gonna put some baskets right together, and we're gonna set those up. It's just gonna be Mother's Day stuff. So we got all of our different scents. Almost everybody that comes up buys at least something. I mean, 98% of the people will buy. We've had a few that's come up, but we've still gotten their name, and hey, we'll send you a catalog. We give them the catalog. So, you pop up this one we got, and you want to pick a really busy, area. Right here, this is pretty busy. So as you can see, there's a lot of cars that just pass this area right here. So we're here until they kick us out, or somebody buys this building and they say, hey, you can't set up it. Even if somebody bought that building, I think I would go in there and negotiate with them and say, hey, can we set our tent up out there in front of your parking lot on Saturdays and Sundays? More than likely they'll say, yeah, sure, go ahead. There's a pop-up tent. So, and you can buy these for, I don't know, $120 maybe at Costco. Well, yeah, so the Avon's a little bit more, but you can pick these up at like Costco or Walmart. Every place has them. So another good thing though, and if you're new, always have this out right here, because and one thing you always want to have with you is Skin So Soft, because we get people that just come in, specifically just pull up and they jump out and they go, Skin So Soft. So they're looking for Skin So Soft. We almost sell Skin So Soft almost every weekend we're out here. These little containers, you can get these containers at the dollar store. I mean, it's really inexpensive. And we put all our lotions in these little containers, and then we got these shower gels right here. We'll put in our containers, so it kind of makes it convenient. And then your bug guard, especially this time of the year, we got a whole line of bug guard out here. And a lot of the time people want the skin so soft because it does repel insects. And then we got these little containers where we put our lip glosses in and little lipstick bullets. And then the A boxes. See, the A boxes, you can use them to put things in. Like we've put our lipsticks in here in the empty A boxes. And another thing too on those A boxes, you know, if somebody orders, you know, does a qualifying order of $40, they get that for free. But if they don't want it, we kind of add that onto our order. And then what we started doing is breaking some of these up and just putting them in, you know, being, you know, in the individual areas. And we've sold them that way. Tina made up these little grab bags, and these are all from the A boxes. So we've just put different items in there. A lot of noise. So we put a lot of different items that just come right straight out of the A boxes. We put those in there. And then, you know, we got, you know, our bath stuff. So, you know, you want to, you know, get products that are good for you. It doesn't have to be a lot of products, you know. I mean, you can just put a little bit into it at a time and just build them up. And it's really simple to set up. We set this up in 25 to 30 minutes, and then to tear it down, it takes us about the same to tear it down. Everything here is in about 4 boxes. We have about 3 tables that we bring with us. There's one, and then we have that table. So, and we're just kind of setting up in little different spots in this little parking lot here. There's people who just pull right up, you know, do their shopping. So, and then we got our chairs. You know, make sure you have chairs, unless you want to stand. But make sure you got chairs. Our colognes. So anyway, this is pretty simple to do, and you can really, you know, build your customer base up. Since we've been doing this, it's been actually pretty effective because the people that have come in, most of them have actually made orders with us. So, you know, not right away, but we're looking for that long-term customer, not necessarily got these products out here. That's what kind of draws people into you, because they see these products and they'll come in and they'll stop and, oh, what do you got? You know, Avon, oh, and then they'll usually buy, but that kind of draws people in. But our main focus is that right there. That's our main focus right there. If we can get those out, then we end up with a customer, you know, it's a longevity thing. You know, it's not just a one-time sale. Where if we just had products out here, then they would come by and buy, and that'd be a one-time sale. They might stop by back again, you know, later on, you know, another day. But you always want to get those catalogs out. That should be the main focus. So anyway, and then we could do, I don't know, anywhere from 150.
Okay, looks like maybe it's done. So anyway, amazing job for Rick and Tina. They
Cool.
will be on and give you more information.
That was cool.
And yeah, they did a great job. So here's another way. Timothy Brown, he will take a case of Bug Guard to a park and just set it on a table. And he has brochures with them, as you can see, and he's got the Bug Guard, and he'll sell it because people at the park, especially if you get there around dusk, they need it. So it's another way to set it. It's just another way to do an event, an expo or whatever.
Yeah, notice his name badge.
Yeah, name badge makes him look official.
He looked professional.
Yep. And then I got some of these just from the Northwest region. Nancy Ritz, she just set up a table right in her garage on a Saturday afternoon. And she says she made $150 in sales and got 5 new customers. So, you know, if you have a way to get the word out that you've got a sale going on in your driveway, or if you're on a busy street, this is another way you can do it. And then this is one that Richard and I used to do. This was in Ventura. This was the Pacific View Mall. We actually paid quite a bit of money to rent this. It's not a kiosk. It's just more like an information booth. But we rented this well, one weekend a month, and then during the holidays we did more. And we just recruited from there. We didn't sell anything. Basically, what we were doing at the time was sign up to sell Avon today, sign up right now, and you can have a piece of jewelry for free. So that's what we were doing. And it was just a great way. We were getting a lot of names. We were giving out a lot of brochures and getting a lot of names because we were having them fill out those drawing slips. And then this is a breast cancer event. We are doing these now. Richard and I have partnered with a local mall. And one weekend a month, we're doing an Avon breast cancer event. And we've invited other vendors to work with us. So we have vendors there like Mary Kay, Tupperware, Scentsy, paparazzi, even some people who make their own jewelry or make their own crafts and stuff. They make a donation to our breast cancer walk, to Avon, to American Cancer Society, in order to be in this event. And so it's a win-win for everybody because we get to be in the mall for a really reasonable price. We get to gain customers and recruits and sales. And see, in this event, I'm selling products, as you can see. So we have products for sale. And then
Not the iPad, yeah.
Here we have, here's the iPad where we get, where we have them fill out if they want to receive brochures. And here's a little sign that says how much we have collected for breast cancer. So this is a win-win that we do. This is a breast cancer that I did at a store. This was a Smith's Food and Drug. I just went in. We actually had to ask about 6 times, I think, before we finally got an answer. But that's the key, is not to give up. And I finally got, when we were in the store, and I finally talked to the manager, and I said, hey, would you let me set up a breast cancer table? And so we couldn't sell here, but we just took donations and gave out information. And you can go to your local American Cancer Society and get information about how to do breast exams and what the local resources are and stuff like that you can give out. And again, you're giving out brochures and you're getting contact information. Timothy Brown, he just goes to a store parking lot. I've done that many times. I've even done it in the store. You have to be careful. And he's just walking around the parking lot. He's giving out brochures. Who would like a brochure? Going back to that, you might get kicked out. You might get asked to leave. We have many times. As my friend Lisa Wilbur says, if you haven't been kicked out of somewhere, you're not trying hard enough. So if Publix, he's at Publix, and Publix kicks him out, then he goes down the street to Albertsons. And, he says, okay, sorry. And he goes down the street to Albertsons. He doesn't give up, right? And then he can come back to Publix another day because the same manager might not be on. And the thing is, on this kind of thing where you're just going in to a store in a parking lot, you want to get in and out pretty quick. So you want to make a goal to give out 20 books or something like that, and give them out, get names as much as you can, and then leave, and then come back another day. Because in those cases, they're not going to like you hanging around.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can accomplish in 30 minutes, though. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It's incredible. Yep.
Hey, Jessica. Are we allowed to do kiosks at a mall to sell? Avon doesn't allow that unless, well, actually, they used to allow it. They don't anymore. You have to become an LABC, a licensed Avon Beauty Center. And so, no, they wouldn't allow you to. But the truth is, I don't suggest that you do. Actually, let me put that up so people can see. I don't suggest that you do, because I actually did a video on this just the other day, but if you are setting up a kiosk in a mall, that means you have to be open mall hours. That means you just traded your Avon business in for a full-time job, full-time plus, because you're going to be working 70, 80 hours a week, and you're going to be locked into that kiosk. And so I wouldn't even suggest it. You can make a whole lot more money just being an Avon rep. I actually did that at one point. Richard and I opened a store, not a kiosk, but a store. And, we basically traded our customers. Let me take that back down. We actually traded our customers. I mean, at the time, we were selling about $150,000 a year. We were selling a lot. We were working hard, and that was face-to-face sales. And then we opened a store, and our customers didn't want to come to the store. The store customers is a whole different customer. They're not your typical Avon customer. The store customers was people who would go to Penny's or Macy's or Bloomingdale's or whatever, and they would buy the high-end stuff. They would come into the store. So basically, we traded our customers to we still basically over time, I mean, we grew it back to 150,000, but now it was a whole different customer base. It wasn't our original customers, and now we had a nut. We had 5,000 a month in rent and utilities we had to pay. So trust me, it's not a good idea.
Besides that, I think only the LABCs, licensed Avon beauty centers that are there now, they're grandfathered in. I don't think Avon's even allowing anymore to open
They're
up.
not.
So,
They're not.
and then the question she has there is, yeah, you can sell product at a vendor event. So.
Yeah, so if you have a vendor event, that's different. That's totally allowed.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell at a vendor event with no problems. Okay, moving on. Okay, coffee shop or a restaurant. So I got some of these again from the Facebook, the Northwest region, but Lorena and Natty, they just set up at a McDonald's. They just set up brochures and had an Avon bag there so people could see it and samples. And as people walked by, came into the restaurant, they just passed them out.
McNuggets and Avon.
There you go. And here's Lorena again at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you probably would want to buy food if you're doing this because McDonald's and the coffee shop probably aren't going to like you just sitting there doing that. Mm-hmm. But if you buy a coffee and sit down and just drink your coffee, the two of you or whatever, if you have two of you there, drink your coffee and be talking and chatting and have your books on the end of the table, people will ask you about them.
She has a McDonald's bag though, so they have something in the bag.
Yeah, they obviously
they got some fries or something or McNuggets.
Yeah. And here's one Linda did. It's called IS Pizza. As you can see, they're eating, but they set up products on their table. See that? Same thing again. Looks like they're outside, and as people are walking by, they are getting attention. I mean, the people who are interested are going to ask, right? That's what's so cool about this. Here's another one. Frances Bird did this in a food court. Same thing. She just did it in a food court pop-up event. So I uploaded this. This is from Avon. I uploaded this into our Online Beauty Biz Facebook group. It's a table tent card. You print this on you print it on cardstock on a full page, and then you fold it in half, and you can literally put it on the table next to you. And so, another thing you can do is you can get laptop covers. You can buy stickers that just stick to your laptop, and you can get them printed with whatever you want. I imagine Vistaprint probably has them. You would have to search, Google search laptop covers, or you can even print your own. You just have to be careful what you use to stick on your laptop. But so then you're sitting in a coffee shop, and you have your laptop open, and you're drinking your coffee, and somebody walks by and they see that says, I sell Avon, ask me for a brochure. How hard is that? You're not even having to go out and ask for it. They're coming to you. So it's just a good idea. So that's the end of my slideshow. So let me get rid of that, and let me bring Rick and Tina up. So they are coming up. So there you go. So Rick, great job on that video. I love that. It looked like it was a little blurry, probably because of our Wi-Fi or whatever, and because we're watching it again. But do you have anything you want to add? Let me. There we go.
Hello. How you doing? Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Yeah, I never actually, I do those videos, but I never go back and watch them. So that was actually pretty interesting for me.
I get that. I do that too. Seems like the live is just done and over.
Right. Can I say just a couple of hints, and then I'm sure you can embellish on them. The two hints I have is, number one, you probably saw in the video that you had lipsticks there. If wherever you're at, like here in Utah, as it gets to be summertime, you can't have lipsticks outside. It's 110 degrees and they'll all melt. So, you have to kind of watch some of the product you take to the event. You have to kind of figure out what event you have. The other thing, and you kind of showed it in the video, but you want to try to pick your location as best you can so that people driving down the street can see your tent and then see see you ahead enough so that they can see a way to pull in and get to you. If you're on a busy street and they drive by, they see you, and there's no way to pull in, you're not going to get much traffic. But I think you have that resolved in yours. That's pretty cool, where you see you as they're driving up, and then there's ways to pull in, and they can zip right in and check you out. So anyway, yeah, good job, and let you embellish on it there.
Yeah, so that's the thing too, because you can have a really busy intersection, but even though it's a busy intersection, if they can't easily access you, they probably won't come in. They'll go, well, I'll go back, and then they never go back. Well, we had a woman today that pulled in, and she says, God, we've seen you guys here for like the last 3 weeks, and my daughter always wants to stop in, so I decided to stop in now. So she didn't come back. But that's the thing about being consistent with it, because some people will see you, but if you don't go back there, then they'll never stop, and then they'll just forget about you. So you want to be consistent with that.
And if they see you there over and over again, then they feel more comfortable stopping. Right.
And we never have any problems with them saying, hey, you can't do that here. We've never had anybody ever say, hey, it's not allowed to do that, so, and we just set up every weekend. And yeah, you're right, Richard. We've thought about that with the lipstick. So we really watch the weather really close during the week to see what the temperatures are going to be with our wind and everything. But you want to be able to stand out too. I myself, I don't think I got enough signage. I need to get more stuff around. But you can actually get flags. You can have flags that'll go way up like 6 feet, that just kind of wave there, and you can have those custom made.
Or you can even make a homemade sign, a big sign that you can hold up, or you can hang from your car or something that says free Avon.
Yeah.
And people pull in and they'll ask you what's free, and then you give them samples.
Yeah, exactly. See, and we work our downlines with these too on these events, because we can get our downline out there, and Kathy today came out, and she did really well. She did like $100 or something today.
Yeah, so close to it.
Yeah, and she got a couple names. This whole weekend we've done like $400 over the weekend.
Wow.
So between Saturday and Sunday. So, but our main focus is to get the catalogs out and try to get new customers and possibly some reps, so we're always promoting that.
Right. And even if you just got 3 or 4 customers a weekend, and maybe 1 or 2 reps a month, and that's really being conservative, your business 12 months from now would be like crazy booming.
Yeah, can I interject there? You said, we might get 3 or 5 customers on a weekend, and everybody says, wow, that's not much. But if you do that every weekend, if you went out 50 weekends and got 3 to 5 customers, you'd have 150 to 250 customers by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then the other thing you said that is really profound, and we talked about this the other day, is that always try to work with your downline. When somebody comes on, they're brand new. We think it may be easy. Oh, you just hand out an Avon book and ask for a name and number. But they're petrified. When your new rep starts out, and it's kind of like role playing a little bit, but inside of 30 minutes, you take a brand new rep that is totally petrified and afraid of their own shadow, and they'll be able to hand a brochure to a customer, know what to say, and feel comfortable about it, and then be able to duplicate that on their own, every weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the good thing about it is that you're on your time frame.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to go at 9 o'clock in the morning, you go at 9. If you don't want to go until 11, you go at 11.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's totally on your time frame, and you can stay a couple hours. You can stay 4, 5, 6 hours. It's it's up to you. And I mean, for us to load a car, it takes us like 10 minutes to load our car, and like you said in the video, it takes us about 20 to 30 minutes to set up. And, we're out there and we're getting customers and stuff, and we stay out for about 3-4 hours. And again, it only takes takes less time actually to collapse it than it does set it up. But I mean, we came home today and we got home. We stayed out a little longer today. We got home about 5:30, and within 10 minutes, our car was unloaded, and we just stacked it in the garage, and it's there, and it's ready to go for the next time, and our car's already cleaned out, and we made money.
Tina, you have your little containers that you got from the dollar store, and you have the products in those, and you just leave them in those, right?
Basically, yeah. I just kind of stand them up. And then when I pack them, I just lay them down, and then I just kind of double stack on a couple of different things. But yeah, and it makes it really easy because they're square, and they just put the lids on. You can stack them, and it's just simple to pack.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to find, little areas for different odd shaped things and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just made things a lot easier.
Yeah.
So what I want to mention too, for people that might be afraid to ask, if it's an empty, like where Rick and Tina are finding an empty, I think it was a 7-Eleven or something that went out of business. And so there is no business there. So it's a busy intersection, and they can do that, and nobody is going to bother them or care. But you can also ask stores if you can be in their parking lot, away from the store, near the street. And I have a little story about that. Way back when we were in California, everybody knew that Walmart would never let you do that. They're pretty strict. They don't let you do that. Everybody knew that. And so we didn't talk to Walmart. We never did. And we had a brand new rep who didn't know that. And she went and talked to them, and she got permission for us to set up for a whole week. And so don't assume anything, because you don't know unless you ask. And she did it for breast cancer, and that's a perfect in. You can set up outside a restaurant. And in fact, sometimes the restaurants, a lot of times, they'll say, I'll let you set up there, and if you give out our coupons, we'll take 10% of all the purchases tonight and put it towards your cause. So if you're doing it to promote Avon breast cancer and the American Cancer Society, that's a perfect in, because it's a legitimate fundraising campaign, and you get to give your books out. So don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, always ask, if you've never done it before, your first time, it seems a little funny, you're just like, oh, wow, I don't know, it's kind of spooky maybe a little bit in the beginning, but once you do it the first time, it's just really simple. And there's all kinds of places around your city. I know Salt Lake, from where we live, between here and then where we set up right now, I've got like 10 different places picked out just in case I end up having to move out of that area, And I'm always looking when I'm driving around. I'm always looking. I'm going, oh, that looks like a good place to set up. That looks like a good place to set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just make sure when you're set up and stuff, when customers come, greet them. Don't just sit there and let them look around. Attack them, greet them, say hi, how you doing? I've got some catalogs for you. Here's some free samples.
Friendly.
So make sure that they don't leave without that catalog. I mean, some people will. They'll just sit there and they're like, well, I'm a little shy. And so they just kind of sit and let them shop, and then they leave. And I'm like, well, they need a catalog. You need to get them.
They wouldn't have stopped if they weren't interested.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, is that you're going after the low-hanging fruit. And all the people that want Tupperware are going to keep driving by, or the ones that want Mary Kay are going to drive by. But the ones that say Avon, well, I haven't seen it in years, they're going to pull in. So you're going to get a pretty loyal customer, or somebody that's really interested. And that's the amazing thing about it. You haven't had to do anything. You're just there. They see you and they go, wow, Avon, awesome. And you get a great customer. So.
Well, thing that I love about what you guys are doing is that you are inviting your team members to work with you.
Yes.
And you're working with them and helping them learn how to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I think that's great that you're doing that.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, not just customers, but we ended up getting a helper out of this one.
Yeah.
So it was like about a month ago or something. Yeah, she takes the books to her school, and all the teachers are she's got teachers ordering for me, so
she'll be in our business one day, I'm sure.
Tina, can you tell us the story about the event? You don't have to say the name of the place, but you did a fundraiser you did an event at a school that was a dud, that didn't do well. Something way later came back around. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, okay, what happened is that we went and it was actually a Christmas show, and it was at a school, and really, I mean, there was probably about a dozen people that showed up. I mean, it was a 2-day event. I mean, it was a dud. And I mean, vendors were buying off of vendors. I mean, they would only have like 10 vendors. Half the vendors didn't even show up. And they felt really bad. And, but I talked to them, and it was a school it's only 2 years old. It's a private school. And so they, they do fundraisers. They're interested. And the one that they did, they actually had a Sub for Santa thing that they bought all of their stuff. Well, they didn't buy it. They had it shipped to them. Whatever they sold, and then they shipped the rest back. But they told me they only got like 10%. And I like, well, I can give you more than that. And she was happy with that. So I give her the flyers, and then she called me back. I think about 2 months later, she called me back, and they decided they want to do the fundraiser, and they did the bug guard and the skin so soft. So it turned out to be pretty good.
So you ended up with like a $3,000 fundraiser out of that day that wasn't really beneficial.
Yeah, out of a day I know. I mean, it wasn't very much. It was only a $30 fee, but that $30 had a $3,000 sale in the long run.
You just never know. Even when you think it was a dead day, you just never know, because you've made contacts. Even if it was only 3 or 4 contacts, you made those contacts, and those contacts can come back around.
Mm-hmm.
We're always keeping our ears and eyes open for opportunities out of these things, because sometimes something will come along that is totally different from the event that you're doing. I mean, we made absolutely, I don't know, if we made $20 at this event, we did it for 2 days. We were lucky, but boy, when we, it was a skill, and we's like, well, let's talk to them about a fundraiser.
So you got your foot in the door by being there.
Right.
Yeah, and it sounds like we might have another one. School's back in session for the fall. We might be doing another one.
Awesome.
So those turn out. And I was going to say another thing too, and that's that almost everybody that stops in at our tent when we're doing this specifically is stopping for Avon. I mean, we ask them, is there anything specific you're looking for? Yeah, Skin So Soft. Or do you have Bug Guard or something? But they're pretty savvy on Avon. They know about Avon, and they see that, they stop, and it's cool. We're just consistently getting customers. Sometimes we'll get 2 or 3, but we get them on our list, and then all those people that have stopped and we've gotten on our list have placed orders with us.
Yeah. We just had a breast cancer event yesterday, which you know about already. Hi, Mary, good to see you. But we just did a breast cancer event yesterday, and we actually had 2 people. We actually wrote orders for 2 people. Yeah. Live at the event that we'll be placing with our next order. So, and of course we were there from noon until 6, and I think we got 6 names of people who want brochures, and 1 potential recruit, and 2 live orders on the spot. So can't complain.
Yeah, and those kind of events, Lynn, like that, are very small, because I know, and I know you've spent like $1,000, $1,500 for a show. We've done the same thing, and we haven't even really had near the success with some of those that we've been having on the street, on the corner.
Right. Well, and that's like I said, when we first started and we were able to set up a table at Kmart. Oh, another story about Kmart. And it's funny because Lisa Wilbur tells the same story. And so when this happened to me, I had already known Lisa's story. So it was really doubly exciting. But we would sit at that Kmart every Sunday afternoon from noon until like 3, rain or shine all year long. Now it was California, so it didn't snow, it didn't freeze, you know, but we were there every single Sunday all year long. We did that for about 3 years until they got a new regional manager and wouldn't let us do it anymore. But it was pouring one day. It was just pouring. The rain was coming down, and got really wet pulling the stuff out of the car, the table and tablecloth and all that. But so we were there, and this lady came running up to me, and she says, I just want you to know that you are going to be so successful with this. I can see that you have greatness in you because I see you here week after week, rain or shine. And with that kind of determination and that kind of dedication, there's just no way that you're not going to be successful. And that made me feel really good. But people notice when you're there. They notice that you're there every week.
Yeah, it's that consistency, and that's over time that builds up, you know. I mean, the only way you can fail is just don't do anything, you know.
Yeah.
So as long as you're doing something, you're being consistent, even if it doesn't seem like it's working very good, it's working, you know, it's working. You just got to.
Yeah, a lot of times you're building the foundation. You're just getting started and you're building the foundation, so you're not seeing a lot of action yet. But the work you're doing today comes back, because then people will keep getting your brochures, because that's the key. That's why you want to get their name and their information, so you can mail a brochure to them, or you can text a brochure link or email it to them, and consistently do that campaign after campaign. And then you keep adding to that list every week, and those people are going to start ordering. And so, you know, somebody that you picked up that you met this today when you were at your street corner, they might not order for 3 months, but in 3 months you might get a $150 order out of them.
Yeah, that's the beauty about it, you know. And you know, and we've been setting up for years, you know, doing this stuff through you know, other deals, because we had another business before Avon where we would set up on the corner, and we did really well with it. So, and then you know, you're telling us a story about when you're setting up at Kmart, and you guys did that every week, and I'm going, well, you know, I mean, why? I mean, we've done this with our other products. Why not Avon? So we started doing this back, God, what, last month? First of last month?
Well, as soon as it got warm enough.
Yeah, once the weather started. So the thing about it, the way I look at it is right now is prime time, because, you know, toward the end of October, we ain't going to be able to do this because it's going to start getting cold. So we'll build that customer base up between now and October, and the results that we see, a lot of them will come in October, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, what's really cool too is a lot of reps, a lot of people in general who have their own home business or even their own business, even insurance people and realtors and stuff, they like take the summer off. They kind of they get lazy or whatever in the summer because they want to play. And if you keep this up all summer, you get through the summer, and then school starts back up, and then people start really buying again, and they start thinking about what are they going to do for the holidays? They need to make more money. You're going to be already in momentum when all of that starts happening. And when Rep Fest happens and Avon announces the next incentive, you're already going to be in momentum. You're not going to have to start over or start from the beginning. You will be there and moving, and you'll be right there ready to earn that next trip.
Right. And Richard touched on something a little bit earlier too, and he said that you're picking up that low-hanging fruit, which is true. And that's what I like to do, because sometimes the most obvious places, like huge events and stuff like that, aren't always the best. It's that low-hanging fruit that I always try to get 3 or 4 pieces at a time, you know, and that builds up.
And it makes more sense to do that for free on the street corner or a smaller event that's $30 than to spend $900, because you're not going to make your money back.
Yeah. Well, and we decided this year what we were going to do is we're not going to do any events. Maybe we might do 1 or 2, but we're not even going to do any this year. All we're going to do is just set up on the street corner, and we'll be in the same spot all summer long as they won't let us. But I always believe, when you're doing this too, you know, always ask for forgiveness, don't ask for permission.
100%.
Yeah.
And if they do kick you out, then you say, I'm sorry, thank you.
Well,
you'll leave, and you leave and you go somewhere else.
I got 10 spots picked out, so.
Kick you out because first off, it's a weekend, and second off, there's nobody in there. So,
right. you know, as we were cleaning up today, there's a couple cops that pulled in there, and I'm like, oh, and they just sat there. They didn't even really. I think they just pulled in to do their paperwork and that, but they didn't even.
Yeah, maybe they just want them to talk to each other.
But
Yeah.
just make sure that you clean up after yourself. You leave the place cleaner usually than you found it, because then you won't get kicked out if you do it.
Right.
When we were doing it before, we had all of a sudden like 2 or 3 people started coming in this. It was a big parking lot. Store actually was closed on the weekend, and they let us use it. And more people came, and it was like a little swap meet. And everybody got to know about it. I mean, we would have customers coming every weekend, and they only took one person who came, and they had all this clothing stuff, and they left it. And it was a lot. And then they kicked us out of the parking lot because it got left. So just be considerate.
At Kmart, the same thing happened at Kmart because other people saw us there. So then they all started asking, can we set up our phone stuff here and this here and that there? And so there was 4 or 5 tables there every week, which was okay for a while until the district manager got upset about it. But yeah.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times when they say no, you can't, it's just because of that, because people have went in there before and they've just left the thing. Now we used to be there until everybody left, and then we would go around and clean up after everybody that left, just so we could keep that, you know. And it used to really tick me off because they would come in there and leave their stuff laying around. I knew they'd kick us out, so we wasn't there for about 2 or 3 weeks, and somebody came in and did just exactly that. So a lot of times, so just always be considerate and just clean up after yourself and make sure that way you keep them happy.
Even if it's not you, clean up after whatever.
Right. Yeah. And we ended up with getting this is kind of cool. We'll just keep this right here. Because they'll bring their stuff in, and if they don't sell it, they just leave it there. And, you know.
Well, listen, it's Mother's Day, so I want to let people have their evening. So great job. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of information.
Did anybody have any questions or anything? Or?
Well, we had some, but we answered them already.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like there's like 4 people on right now, so there's not a lot of people watching, but I'm sure a lot of people will watch the replay. And
Right.
People have questions when they watch the replay. So thank you guys for being a part of this with us.
Thank you, Lynn.
And I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And we'll see you next Sunday right here. I think it will be the sales meeting next Sunday. But we'll see you next Sunday, same time, same place. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
Have a great week. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tina.